This episode is brought to you by Certified Piedmontese Beef. Listen up, foodies. Make your next meal even better with real Nebraska beef. They have healthy, tender, delicious Italian heritage beef, grass-fed and sustainably raised on lush pastures in the Midwest. You can even create your own personally curated meat box that's shipped right to your door. To get 2 free steaks with any purchase over $50, use the code FREEBEEF at checkout. Learn more and shop exclusively at cpbeef.com.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Welcome to Wrexham. Celebrity owners Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds' small-town Welsh football club is fighting for a chance at promotion. These 2 Hollywood stars lead a team in the midst of history in the making, while dedicated staff and supporters hold on to a dream of returning the team and this working-class town in Wales to glory. FX's Welcome to Wrexham premieres September 12th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Hey, what's up? It's the ManFUzed Podcast. I'm Kay Lee, my co-host, Ben H. So today on the ManFUzed Podcast, we have a listener reach out who's got an IRS problem, one I've not heard before, but yet it doesn't surprise me. Could they be purposely stealing money from younger individuals who are filing tax returns because they know they won't follow up? And I share the story of a dinner party that I went to where bottles of wine that cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars were ordered, yet was I supposed to split it evenly, even though I didn't drink any? So, we have a listener that has reached out who has a problem. Kaylee and Ben, thank you for all you do. You inspire me on a daily.
Oh,
and I
good.
love you.
That's nice. We love you too.
He's got a situation and he needs our advice. And especially if there's anybody in our audience that wants to chime in on this advice who might work as a CPA, or if you work for the Internal Revenue Service. Fundamentally, the problem is that my daughter, who is now 23 years old, she's a student, filed her tax return for the year of 2020 back on March 6th of 2021. To date, she has not received her $300 federal tax refund. We have made numerous calls through the years asking what the holdup was. And of course, we asked for letters to explain the situation, but never got the same answer twice, except for COVID. In addition, we never received any letters from any of our requests. We started calling the IRS back in May of 2021, and the first IRS rep looked up my daughter's account and admitted that they had received the return, but the rep used the word pilfering. I asked her what she meant by that, and she was vague in her explanation. I do our taxes using TurboTax, and I always attach the original W-2s with the federal and the state returns. They can clearly see the amount that was withheld, and they can clearly see the total income. The IRS rep ultimately told us to wait a couple weeks or months. I fucking hate when they do that. And then, should the return not come, have my daughter call back and would get her refund by summer. We waited until August of 2021 to call in again, just before my daughter was heading back to school. And the IRS said that they were still working on it. They're still working on a $300 refund. And I get it. I'm thinking to myself, it's $300. To someone in school, $300 is $300, and it's your $300. Mm-hmm. See, think about it. The IRS has been making interest off of your $300.
Right.
If you owed them $300, you would have been fucking fined with interest and interest and interest. So now they're fucking with your money. You're not getting, anyway. So, and I'm just going off on a rant. Naturally, we accepted the answer because what the fuck can we do about it? It was a COVID delay, but we asked for a letter again, which was never received. We continued calling the IRS once in the fall of 2021, and then finally we called in the last summer in July and August of 2023. The last 2 conversations with the IRS with 2 separate people were the most alarming. My daughter was told that she was not qualified for a refund, and it was a dead, completed tax return. They had not done anything with her return since fall of 2021. 6 months after receiving it, even though we had been told for years that they were working on it and to follow up. One other alarming answer was we were told in August, after 6 months, the IRS simply stops working on a tax return and it goes stale and into an inactive file which never gets reopened. They do this without even as much as sending a letter. Can you imagine, out of 170 million tax returns that are filed every year, that there are somewhere between 2 and 4 million returns a year that do not get processed? Do the math. If they start processing a return but get stuck, they may place a check mark in box 39, like my daughter, which indicates does not qualify. That ends the process of it, and the money never gets refunded. Now, I understand what the first rep from IRS meant by pilfering. Could this literally be going on at the IRS? Are they pilfering tax refunds in the tune of $500 million a year? I was told by a tax preparer that this most often involves younger people and older people who simply won't follow up. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Has any of your listeners ever heard of anything like this? And from a tax person's perspective, how do you fix it? That's crazy, because if you think about it, it's a way that they are almost padding the numbers.
Right.
Like, okay, this is $300. You drag it along long enough. I mean, how much work is someone going to do for $300?
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
They're not going to take it from the big boys.
That's right.
Because it's a much more significant amount of money. $300 done 2 million times.
I would say to our listener, although, he'd probably pay more than $300
Fuck yeah,
to have someone do the return. I don't know if it's actually necessarily a moneymaker. You'd have to pay someone more than that. And that's probably a part of the situation, is that they are dealing with people who don't have representation. And it would cost more than that to get representation. So then what would be even the point of getting representation? My thought on it is have someone do your taxes for you.
Would that make a difference, though?
Yes, absolutely it would.
Because now there's another legal party involved, a certified accountant.
Well, they know what to do. They know a form to send in. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you would think that if it's coming from a certified public accountant.
That's right, yeah.
It's official.
If there is a department that handles this stuff, they don't do it with CPAs and tax attorneys.
Well, you're just doing it on your shitty TurboTax software, and they're like, oh, what the fuck?
Which a lot of people do, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
There isn't, and
it's
I'm
probably
not
very efficient, and if you look at year over year of paying someone to file your taxes,
saves a lot
you
of
probably
fucking
save
money.
a lot of money. You probably saved a lot more than $300 just doing it yourself.
You get a lot more back. You get more advice.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to have someone who's an expert. Past a certain point, depending on how you file and how you pay, you don't get refunds. I actually had a situation where one of my clients paid in. He was meaning to send $200,000 and accidentally hit an additional zero. And this is a guy with big bank accounts, and it withdrew. He sent in $2 million to the cage. They took it as credit for future filings.
They wouldn't give it back?
I don't want to get into it. I mean, I'm just telling you the result of what happened. They took it as credit for future filings. I don't know what the legality. I don't know anything about this person's tax. I don't know anything about it. I'm just telling you meant to send 200. He accidentally hit an additional zero. So an incredibly wealthy person where the bank just went, boom, no problem. And he sent in $2 million. And this is not, for him, this is not a...
But still, the interest on $2 million, even at the smallest amount, equates to a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
Now they're making interest on your $2 million.
Yeah.
How bad of a day would you be? He had to have been losing his
He was
fuck.
laughing about it. He told me about it the day he did it.
No, well, I guess
I mean, he was pissed. He was like, I can't believe I did that. It would have been like, I guess for me, probably $200 versus $2,000 or something.
Yeah.
I sent him $2,000 and I was supposed to send him 200. I'd be upset about that, but it's probably something that we would laugh about how stupid that was.
Oh, yeah,
you know what
we
I'm saying?
definitely would.
Yeah, I mean, we'd be like, damn, that's stupid. If I was supposed to send him $2,000 and I sent 20, that'd be a problem. Or if I was supposed to send 20 and I sent 200, that would be a problem. If I was supposed to send 200 and I sent 2, it'd be the end of my life.
That shit's gonna bounce.
Yeah, $2 million wouldn't have cleared, bro.
Yeah. 200 wouldn't have cleared. I wouldn't have cleared 200.
Oh my God.
If I was supposed to send 20 and I sent 200, that should be bounced back.
You would have sent nothing.
Yeah. It would have been negative out of my account. It would have
gone zero.
Which would have been a good thing because I would rather pay that overdraft fee.
Yeah.
Would it be more than $35? What do you think? Hey, because of the
this
amount.
Is per occurrence, right?
We've sent the police to your house for writing a bad check.
There's all kinds of wacky stories like that, man. But the best thing you can do is just have somebody good on your side that helps you with this stuff. Maybe you get more money back. Maybe you don't have to do these battles where you're calling in over a couple $100, this, that, and the other thing, you know.
So I have a situation, Ben, and I want to know how you would have handled it.
Okay.
Actually, I probably know how you would have handled it because you would have been partaking in it. I was invited out to a dinner.
Yes.
I think recently you might have had a similar experience. I was invited out with a group of people. One of them more on the flashy side, got a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Attended this very nice, poshy restaurant.
Yeah.
It was about 4 couples, right?
Yeah.
Sit down, have dinner. You know, I'm not a big drinker.
Yeah.
You know, even at this place, a fucking mule is $22.
Wow.
I mean, it's
yeah.
fucking
nice
ridiculous.
Restaurant.
Yeah. Ridiculous. And it's, you know, it's got a very, you know, who's who profile, whatnot. They have multiple locations across the world. And, you know, normally when I go out with this group of people, it's unsaid, but normally one of them picks up the tab.
Right.
It's almost a guarantee.
But not this time.
Well, I don't know that yet. But I order my food as if it's going to happen.
Right.
Wagyu beef, please.
No, you wouldn't know boo. Yeah. I already know what happened there.
So I order. My wife orders. We're having some drinks. You know, we're wrapping up. In my mind, I'm calculating. Okay, well, if I have to reach for my wallet, my bill's going to be $300 probably. You know, because
double that.
Wagyu beef was $100.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm not going to drink $100 worth of drinks.
I see, yeah.
Because I'm going to drive. I didn't Uber there.
Yeah.
My wife, who is drinking some wine, you know, glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a small bottle at the table that was split, but she had a mixed drink too. So I'm thinking $300 maybe with tip. Dessert comes, having a great time. My buddy, the flashy, more extravagant one with the Amex Black Card or whatever, he's getting more and more fucked up.
Right.
And so where I think after dessert, we're going to wrap shit up, he then decides to ask the waiter that he wants to do a wine tasting. And at that time, I'm thinking, well, fuck, I don't care. I'm not drinking wine. My wife's like, I'll have us some wine. So the first bottle comes. Chances are I ain't paying for this shit anyway.
Right.
First bottle comes. It's a bin number, this, that, and the other. Cool. Hanging out. Order another mule. He's like, let's do another one. So he orders another bottle of wine. This is bin number 740. This is France bar. I don't even fucking know. This dude sommelier or whatever the fuck it is. I hate the taste of wine. I know you like it. This guy tastes grapes and fucking years, like just from the third bottle comes. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm ready to go because my ass hurts from sitting there. So the bill comes. He doesn't bring it to me.
Right.
How would you like this tab? Oh, you could split it 4 ways. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe the wine's, $50 a bottle.
Yeah.
The first bottle was $380.
Oh, my God.
The second bottle was $285.
Yeah.
And the third bottle was like $195. So now my bill roughly goes from what I think is $300 to like over $600.
Yeah, I was going to say $600 easy.
Plus tip.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my wife and I'm looking at him and I'm like, I didn't fucking have a sip of this goddamn wine.
Yeah.
Did
your wife, though?
She did. Oh, of course she did.
Yeah, she did.
And I'm like, you see what the fuck you just did? You see what you just did? And now I'm reaching for my wallet.
And you're like shaking.
I'm shaking and I'm slow. And the look on my face
so heavy
is that of disgust.
Yeah.
I hate everybody at the fucking table.
Yeah.
I'm like, did they
man.
purposely fuck with me?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, having a great idea. We'll do it on Kaylee. Because I normally pick up the tab.
Yeah.
This time, I'm going to order the most expensive shit they got.
Right.
And then I'm going to split it with everybody.
Right.
Because I know his wife will drink some. But okay, even if my wife didn't drink some, would you make a stink and go, hey, I didn't drink any of this wine?
If my wife didn't drink any wine, I would just kindly say, excuse me, could you please put the wine on the tab of everyone who drank the wine? We didn't have any wine. So
what if my wife only had a glass? Would you go, hey, can you divide up that portion?
At that
as soon
point,
as she took a sip, she is in.
Even a sip, you're in. I think that when ordering wine, okay, so the way I would have handled it, and again, I don't know this person, and obviously it's easier to say what you would have done in a situation you weren't even in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And obviously you had no idea that this was even coming down the pipe anyways.
Well, I'm
right?
kind of guilty because I did go into it thinking and ordering as if he was going to pay.
Right.
So I kind of feel like that's my fault.
And then, but on the wine thing, I would actually have a conversation and be like, hey, are you going to drink wine or you want to order another drink? You know what I'm saying? And if, I don't know, but I can't even say I would do that because obviously you're sitting there having a great time. Guy orders a bottle of wine, they pour wine for everybody. I probably would have been in the same shoes. What'd you do? You paid the tab.
I fucking paid my tab. And I had the look of shit on my face and then I had to come home and pay the babysitter. So I was like, $750. I don't even, I'm still mad about it. I don't think I'm ever going out with those people again.
Wine is so expensive at restaurants. It's times like 3 or 4 the actual cost of the bottle. So the worst of it is those are only like $60 or $70 bottles.
For a $385 bottle?
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been like a $120 bottle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, something like that. It's all fun and stuff. Nobu is cool. It's pretty good.
It's very commercial.
It's not great to me. I mean, it's good, but it's not great.
The atmosphere, it's the vibe, it's the...
I love it. It's fine. I think for what it is, it's wonderful. But, I mean, there's a couple places that I would go that I feel have better food than them. Umi and Tomo are both better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love sushi.
Tomo's right next to it.
All right. Well, thanks, Ben, for that advice. And, I'm still angry about it.
I don't know what advice I gave.
You didn't give any, Ben, actually.
I didn't give any advice.
Nothing you said helped the situation.
But I was wondering what you were upset about.
I didn't hear one word that came out of your mouth. I'll have to listen to this back.
I can tell I've been able to tell since I got here today that there's an air of frustration in your tone.
Yeah, there is.
And now I think I know why.
Well, that's one part.
That's one aspect.
Thanks for listening to the ManFUzed Podcast. You got something to say? Join the show. Hit us up, manfused.com or 770-744-5227. We'll be back later.
Peace out.
Foo Media.